Welcome back to the logical reasoning sessions. We have done a number of questions from different areas. Right now we are getting into the direction sense type of questions. Direction sense, the basic thing in direction sense questions, while the questions or the exam you appear, the NTA NET exam, they want to make sure you have a feeling and you have a sense of directions. So ultimately, if you are at your home, and I'm pretty sure you know which is the east of your home, right? East of your house, and which is the west of your house, and the other directions as well. And that must be something when you go outside as well. So if you are at a different place, especially if you look at Google Map, I'm pretty sure almost all of you are using this Google Map. When you look at Google Map, the top side of map, it is something like this. If it is something you see on a screen or a piece of paper, or if it's a blueprint of your house, doesn't matter. So this is what the north part, the upper part of that page would be north, and towards the lower part it would be the south. And your right hand side would be the east and your left hand side would be west. So that's a standard notations. And what are the type of questions which are expected from direction sense? The major three type of questions are from direction sense. And one of that question, let's say one person, and Ria is facing east, and she is doing yoga or some kind of exercise in the morning, so she is facing east. From that direction, she made a 90-degree turn or make a right turn. Right turn means a turn, 90-degree turn towards the right. It is the right turn. For example, this is my right hand side. So if I turn right, this would be, see that? So this is the right turn. So probably you remember your school days in the assembly, right? Left turn, right turn, all those kind of things. So this is the direction I'm facing. When I turn right, it's 90 degrees. So this is the direction I'm facing right now. So what is the angle between two of my hands? It's 90 degrees. So right turn, it's a 90-degree turn towards the right. If it's a left turn, it's a 90-degree turn towards the left. So it's a 90-degree now. So this case, Ria, she makes a right turn. So she is facing this direction, and which is her right hand side, this is her right hand side. She made a right turn. And from there, she made a 180-degree turn. So now she is facing this direction. From there, she made this is the first direction she faced, this is the second direction she is facing, and from there she made a 180-degree turn. 180-degree turn means just opposite. So from here, she made a turn towards just opposite direction. So this is what the direction she is facing now. From there, she make a 45-degree turn towards her right. So she is facing north, this is her right hand side, she make a 45-degree turn. So she must be facing this direction. So that is the final direction she is facing. So which direction she is facing now? This is what the direction. What is that direction? That is between. So this direction is north. Look at that, north. And this is what? East. And this is between north and east. If it is between north and east, what is that? That's a northeast direction. So look at this diagram. How many directions are marked over there? 4 directions. Actually, how many directions we have? 4 directions. So that is usually we heard 4 major directions, but those who are aware of temples, doesn't matter. Whatever your religion, if you are aware of temple and those kind of things, probably every temple, have you heard of this Ashtadikpalakas? Oh, they are the protectors of the temple, right? So they are the Ashtadikpalaka. Ashta means 8. So how many dik? Dik means direction. So Ashtadik means 8 directions. So ultimately, from the ancient days onwards, we know that there are 8 directions. It's not just 4 directions, there are 8 directions. So which are the 8 directions? There is something in between as well. So north and east, between north and east, we have northeast. So this is the northeast direction. And between like east and south, we have southeast. And between west and south, so southwest. And between north and west, northwest. So these are the 8 directions. So you have to be really aware of it. And in this case, the girl Ria, she is facing which direction? She is facing between north and east. So that is northeast direction, northeast, NE. I'm pretty sure you heard of northeastern states of India, which are the northeastern states, north. So if you look at the northern part of India, probably you see that Himachal Pradesh, those kind of like states, right? Which is north, that is north, which is east towards this side. So right hand side, so that is pretty north and east, between east and north. So east is this side and north is this side. So which are the states of that area? Like Assam, Manipur, all those kind of states, Mizoram, all those states, northeastern states. Okay, fine. That's one type of questions you have from direction sense. Another set of questions you may have, let's say a person started walking from his home and that person is moving towards any direction, north or east or whatever it is. So in this case, we assume that person is moving towards north. And that is 6 kilometers towards north. 6 kilometers. So that person, let's say it seems like a sports person, or that person is health conscious. So that's the reason that person is walking 6 kilometers towards north. From there, she made a right turn. So now she is facing north, which is the right hand side, this is the right hand side. She made a right turn and walked for another 8 kilometers. So 6 kilometers and 8 kilometers. She started from her home. And now she reached a mall. The question is, what is the straight line distance from her home to that shopping mall? This is what is the straight line distance, aerial distance. This is what it is. And what is that distance? How do you find that distance? So if you look at that, you see this is a right angle triangle. Have you heard of right angle triangle theory? Pythagorean theory? Don't be afraid of these kind of things. These are some of the stuff you have studied in grade 6 or grade 7. Even before you reach the high school, you knew what exactly this Pythagorean theory. Just brush it up. So no need to worried about what it is lost or what you don't know. We don't need a lot of things from mathematical area. We just need the concept. So this is Pythagorean theory. It is pretty simple. What it says is the hypotenuse. In order to find the hypotenuse, what we need is hypotenuse is equal to root of this length plus this length. That's it. Root of square of this length and square of this one. That's it. So 8 square plus 6 square. 8 square is, everybody knows 8 square is 64. 6 square is 36. So 8 square 64 plus 36, it's 100. So root of 100. Root of 100, everyone knows what is the root of 100. That's 10. So hypotenuse, that means this length is 10. So it is, straight line distance is what? 10 kilometers. That's it. So that's the second type of questions. And this question, sometimes it may, if they want to make it a little more complicated, they may say this person moved towards east, then that person made a left turn, then that person made another right turn, then that person made one more right turn, and then that person made a left turn, and that person made another right turn from here going towards north and finally reached here. So this is the starting point, and what is the final destination? This is the final destination. What is the distance between these 2 points? So again you have to make a right angle triangle, find the answer. Again, no need to worry about it, we'll get into those kind of questions later. This is just, introduction of what are the type of questions expected in that area. Another type of questions you may have from direction sense, let's say 2 persons are talking to each other. This is P and this is Q. P and Q, they are talking to each other. And, well, this is P, this is Q. And P noticed the shadow of Q is on her left hand side. So this is P, and P noticed the shadow of Q, this is the Q, the shadow of Q is on her left hand side. And if these people, P and Q, if they are on a beach just before the sunset, then which direction Q is facing? So P and Q facing each other, and P noticed the shadow of Q is on her left hand side, exactly on her left hand side, and they are on a beach immediately before the sunset. So then which direction Q is facing? So this is P, this is Q. So just think about it. You don't need any kind of maths. You don't need any kind of geometry. You don't need any kind of calculation. But what you need is your common sense. Do you have that? Then definitely you get the answer. So just think about it. I'll just give you a few seconds. Okay, there are 2 different ways of looking at that question. One, this is the way. You assume that your left hand is P and your right hand is Q. So this is my left hand, this is my right hand. So this is P, this is Q. So if they are facing each other, and while shadow of Q is on the left hand side of P, so this is the left hand side of P, the shadow of Q must be on the side of P. So Q, shadow of Q must be on the side of P. So that means sun must be, let's say assume that I am the sun for the time being. So I am the sun because the shadow is on that side. So I am the sun. My head is the sun for the time being. So shadow is right there. So sun is here. What time? It is just before the sunset. So it's evening time. So evening time, where is the sun? Sun must be at the west. So this is the west. If this is the west, that side is the east. And if that is east, this side is what? So if you are facing east, your right hand side must be south. So this is west, that is east, and this side is south, and this side is north. So that case, Q, this is Q. Q is facing that direction. So which is that direction? That is north. And if you are not really got what I have mentioned over here using both of my hands, there is another way of looking at that question. I'll show you that on the board. So here, west, this is the west. So we have the sun at the west, right? So this is the sun. Sun is here at the west. What time? Evening time. So if sun is at the west, now we have this P and Q are facing each other. P and Q. Which is P, which is Q? We have no idea. Let's assume that this is P and this is Q. This is just an assumption. If this is P and this is Q, since sun is here, the shadow of Q is in which direction? This is the shadow of Q. This is the shadow of Q. Because sun is here, shadow must be on this side. And shadow of P must be on this side as well. So, what it is mentioned in the question, shadow of Q is exactly on the left hand side of P, exactly on the left hand side of P. This case, this is the shadow of Q, and that shadow is on the right hand side of P. That is not the case. The question it is mentioned, the shadow of Q is exactly on the left hand side of P. That means our assumption of P and Q is not really correct. So this is a trial and error method. So P here and Q here, that is not exactly it is. It must be the other way. So we have to have P here and Q here. Let's try this. Now we have to assume the other way, right? So where is P? Right here. Earlier Q was here, now P is there and Q is here. And since sun is here, where is the shadow? Shadow must be on that side. The shadow of Q. So shadow of Q must be on this side. This is the shadow of Q. So shadow of Q must be on the left hand side of P. So P is facing this direction. Which is the left hand side of P? This is the left hand side of P. This is the left. So now see that shadow of Q is exactly on the left hand side of P. So shadow, somebody's shadow is on my left or my shadow is on my left. It doesn't mean that the shadow is on my left shoulder. Shadow must be on the left hand side. So that case, the shadow of P is on the left, shadow of Q is on the left hand side of P. Perfectly all right. That is what the condition is given to us. If that is the case, if shadow of Q is on the left hand side of P, then which direction Q is facing? Q must be facing that direction. What is that direction? It is north. So the question, which direction Q is facing? Q is facing north. At the same time, if they ask you the question the other way, which direction P is facing? In this case, P is facing south. So that case, the answer is south. But the question asked as to find out the direction Q is facing, so Q must be facing north. So that's the answer. Done. So these are the major type of questions you can expect from direction sets. And sometimes you may have sub questions from these areas as well. For example, two persons are walking towards each other from a distance of like 300 meters or like 500 meters. So they are walking towards each other from a distance of 500 meters. In between, so these persons are A and B. In between, A made a left turn, then A go like 50 meters or maybe 60 meters towards the left, then A make a right turn. So those kind of deviations would be there. And finally, after a certain time or after a certain meters, the A has walked and A came back to the straight line they were walking earlier. Now, if that is the case, what is the distance between A and B at that point when A comes back to the main road? So, once you see those kind of questions, you get a clear idea what exactly it is. So, I don't like to say a lot of things further, rather than we'll get into the questions. So, let's go for the questions now. Question number 1. So here it is the question given. Uma jogged 4 kilometers towards east, and of course you see the question right here, right? So she jogged 4 kilometers towards the east from her house, then she turned north. So she 4 kilometers towards east from her house, 4 kilometers towards east. So this is 4 kilometers. From there, she turned north and jogged for another 3 kilometers. From here, she went north, so gone for another 3 kilometers. So this is 3. So 4 and 3. To reach a stadium. So she reached a stadium right here. This is the stadium. And she started from her home, H. Now the question is, what is the straight line distance or aerial distance between her house and the stadium? So it's a straight line distance. So this is what we need to find, straight line distance. between her house and the stadium. So again, we have 4 here, we have 3 here, we need to find the hypotenuse. So we have the right angle triangle and we need to find the hypotenuse. So how do we find it? Hypotenuse is equal to root of base square plus height square. This case 4 and 3. So 4 square plus 3 square. So 4 square is 16, 3 square is 9. 4 square 16 plus 9 is 25. So root of 25. Root of 25 is what? 5. That's it. So that distance, straight line distance is 5 kilometers. And of course, you have answer choices given 4, 7, 5 and none of this. So answer choices are 4, 7, 5 and none of this. These are the answer choices. I'm pretty sure some of you might have thought about a total distance of 4 plus 3, 7 kilometers, right? Okay, that's okay. So if you thought about it, that is perfectly all right. But once you get this idea, always remember that if it is a right angle triangle, if it is the straight line distance, we need to find the hypotenuse. And any of these type of questions, we need to make a right angle triangle to find the straight line distance. All right, this is question number 1. So I'll go for question number 2. Question number 2 here, Vidya is facing south. So Vidya right now facing south. That's the direction Vidya is facing and that's the first direction she is facing. And from there she turns 180 degree. From here she turns 180 degree. That means she must be facing north. So that's the second direction she is facing. And from there another left turn from there. From here she made a left turn. Left turn means a turn towards the left and how many degrees? It's 90 degree. Left turn means 90 degree. So she made a left turn, she must be facing this direction. So that's the third direction she is facing. And that is followed by a 45 degree turn in the clockwise direction. From here she made a turn clockwise. Which is clockwise? This is clockwise and this is anti-clockwise. So she made a turn clockwise means she made a turn this way. This is clockwise. So she made a turn, 45 degree turn, and finally she would be facing this direction. So this is the final. So what is that direction she is facing? So that's a question. And of course she is facing, this is north and this is west. She is facing a direction between north and west. So northwest is the answer. So the direction is northwest. That would be the answer. Now we'll take a look at question number 3. Question 3. A man walks 400 meters in north direction. So 400 meters in north. So let's say he started walking from a point 400 meters north. This is what? 400 meters. This is a previous NTA question. So let's take a look at that. 400 meters in north direction. Then took a left turn and walked 600 meters from here. A person made a left turn. So left turn means towards this direction. So walked for 600 meters. And from there, what happened? He again takes a left turn and walks another 400 meters. From this point, he made another left turn. And so now he is facing this direction. Left turn means towards south. So he made another left turn and walked towards south. So another 400 meters. So this is 400, this is 400 as well. So if that is the case, the question, how far and in which direction he is from the original position. So this is the original position. How far and which direction he is from the original position. So original position, how far he is from now. The question is not really asking you to find out how many meters he has walked, but the distance from original position to the final destination. What is that distance? This distance, this is 600. So this is 600 meters. And which direction? With respect to this original point, this direction is what? If this is the original position, this direction is what? So that is what it is. This is west. So 400 meters west. So the answer choice is what we have for this question is 400 meters east, 400 meters west, 600 meters west, and 600 meters south. So the final answer what we have here is 600 meters towards the west direction. So the answer choice what we have is 600 meters west. This is what it is. That's it. Alright, so we are working on directions and question. The next question in front of us, the James and Kavya, they are doing pranayama, releasing the warmth of the rising sun. Okay, so what time it is? The sun rises. So they are doing this pranayama in the morning. So morning session, morning time, and Kavya noticed the shadow of James were exactly to her right. So Kavya noticed the shadow of James is exactly on her right. So it's morning time. Where is the sun? Sun must be at the east. So this is the east according to the directions. This is east and sun is right here at the east. And we have James and Kavya are here. So one is James and the other one is Kavya. We have no idea which is James and which is Kavya. We'll mark it. And they are facing each other. And Kavya noticed the shadow of James was exactly to her right, exactly on her right. So if the shadow of both persons are on this side because sun is here, and the shadow of James must be exactly on the right hand side of Kavya. If James is this one and this is Kavya, then the shadow of James must be exactly on the left of Kavya. We need it on the right hand side of Kavya. So we need to have Kavya, this one is Kavya and this one is James. And now the shadow of James is exactly on her right. So this is the shadow of James. This is the shadow. So shadow of James is exactly on the right. So this is Kavya is facing this direction and this is her right. So that's exactly on her right. That means what the diagram what we have is perfectly all right. So now the question, which direction was Kavya facing? So which direction Kavya is facing in this case? Kavya is facing south. So this direction. So that is south. So answer south. Done with that question. That question number 4, question 4. Now we'll take a look at question number 5. So what type of question we have? Question number 5. A snake tried to get away from a mongoose. The snake managed to slither towards the south for 5 meters. So let's assume that snake is here. Snake slithered 5 meters towards south. This is south. So 5 meters. From there, it turned to its left. So this is the direction snake is facing. To the left means towards this direction. And it is slithered. It turned like to the left and slithered 4 meters. So this is 4 meters. So do you have a confusion on the word slithering? Slithering, it's a movement of the snake. Snake slithers. And it slithers 4 more meters towards the left. And it has taken another left turn from here. From here, it has taken another left turn and slithered 8 meters before the mongoose caught on its neck. So from this point, it turned left and it slithered another 8 meters before the mongoose caught on its neck. So the snake reached here by the time the mongoose caught on its neck. So this is 8 meters. So this is what exactly happened. So what is the straight line distance from the initial point of the snake to its final position? So this is the final point where the snake is caught by the mongoose, and this is the initial point. So what is the straight line distance? This is what the straight line distance. So how do you find that straight line distance? We need to make a right angle triangle here, right angle triangle. So what is this length? This is 4, so this must be 4 as well. And what is this? So this total is 8, and between these 2 points this distance is 5. So that means this part is 5 as well. This part is 5. So if this is 5, this must be 3. So total is 8. So 5 plus 3, it's 8. So what we have is 4 and 3. So the hypotenuse, it's 4 square, root of 4 square plus 3 square. So 4 square is 16, 3 square is 9. So 4 square plus 3 square is 25. Root of 25 is 5. So the answer is what? 5 meters. 5 meters. This distance from the initial point of snake to the final point of snake is 5 meters. And of course, the answer choices we have 7, we have 4, we have 5, none of this. All these answer choices are given here. That's perfectly all right. Now, next one, question number 6. We'll take a look at question number 6. Q6. Hima is facing the same direction of a compass needle. So Hima is facing the same direction of a compass needle. So which direction a compass needle faces? It must be always towards the north. So Hima is facing north. And from there, what happens? From there, she turns to her left, followed by another left turn. From this point, this is the first direction she is facing. From there, she turned left. So that's 90 degrees towards the left. That is followed by another left turn. So from this point, she turned another left. So another left means another 90 degrees. So this is the third direction she is facing. So 2 left turns, consecutive left turns, one after the other. So from there, she turns to her left, followed by another left turn. So left turn means one left turn is 90 degrees, another left turn is one more 90 degrees. So 2 left turns consecutive means 180 degrees. So this is from here 90 degrees, from there another 90 degrees. And finally, she turns 135 degrees in the clockwise direction. So finally, she turned from this point, she turned 135 degrees in the clockwise direction. So which direction she is facing at the end? So from here, she turned in the clockwise. So this is the clockwise direction, 135 degrees. 135 means it is 90 plus 45. So when she turns up to here, it's 90 degrees. So she has to go 135 degrees, so 45 degrees more towards clockwise. So she must be facing this direction at the end. What is that direction? That is between north and west. So the direction is what? Northwest. Northwest is the direction. So answer northwest. That's the case. All right, next one. Prakash walked 40 meters towards east. So when you read this question, what I suggest is keep working on that question as well. That means keep working on the diagram. So don't waste your time by reading that question several times and later go for the diagram. So read that question at the same time make the diagram as well. So question number 7. So this is what I do. Prakash walked 40 meters towards east. So this is the starting point, wherever it is. Starting point, 40 meters towards east. So this is 40 meters. From there, what happens? Then he turns towards south and walks 25 meters. So from here, he goes south, 25 meters. And from there, he walked 52 meters towards the west. So from this point, he walked 52 meters towards west. So this is 52 meters towards west. Okay, it must be on a straight line, but when I tried to make a straight line, it became a curved line. Okay, no need to worry about it. So here, this is the point, what is it? 40, and this is 40, total 52. So balance must be 12. So this distance is 12. So total we have from this point to this point, total is 52 meters. Okay, so he walked 52 meters towards the west and further 16 meters towards north. So from here, this point, 16 meters towards north. So this way, 16 meters. So this is 16 meters. north. And from that point, what happens? Then he turned towards east and walked 20 meters. From this point, he turned towards east and walked 20 meters. So this is, he walked towards east, and by the time he reached this point, this is 12. So this is 12. Total must be 20, correct? So balance must be what? 8 more meters. So he reached here. So this is 8. Okay, so if that is a case, what is the straight distance in meters between his initial and final position? So this is the initial position, I, and this is the final position. So what is the straight line distance in meters? So what we know, the base is 8, and what is this height? Well, how do we find it? This is 16, so this part is 16. This total is 25. See that? This is 25, this total must be 25. So this is 16, balance must be 9. Correct? So in the diagram, when you look at this, this is 8 and this one is smaller than that. No need to worry about it. That's something wrong with the diagram. I mean, what is called the sizing of the diagram. So no need to worry about it. So what we have is 8 and this is 9. So what we need this distance, so root of 8 square plus 9 square. So 8 square plus 9 square, what is that? 64 plus 81. So when you add it up, what do you get? 64 plus 81. Well, 80 plus 60, 140. 4 plus 1, 5. So 145, root of 145. 145 is not a perfect square. That means we don't have a integer square root for 145. However, if you need to find the square root for 145, it's a higher level mathematics question. You don't need to do that. What exactly the question is asking for? What is the straight line distance in meters between the initial and final position? Usually these kind of questions, they may ask you to find the approximate distance. So if you don't get the exact distance, they will be asking for the approximate distance. So this case, what is the approximate distance? This is approximately equal to what? Actually 145, the nearest perfect square what we have is 144. 144 is 12 square. So what is that distance? That is equal to 12. That's it. Alright guys, so these are the types of questions we are expecting in NTA net direction sense area. So we'll have a lot more questions from direction sense area when we meet next time. Thank you for watching. See you next time.